I believe that I am the only USMC pilot to have ever flown a burning, blazing H-34 from airborne back to Earth with no harm to the passengers, the crew, or anyone. It was late July 1966. We're on a flight that was in about 25 miles west of Chulai. And we were taking our Marine Corps troops out to protect a downed helicopter. There wasn't anyone around there at the time, but the engine was inoperative and it was going to be spending the night, and we needed a protective perimeter. We dropped off our troops at the airplane, and flying away from there, climbing up about 300 feet, I heard some gunfire and immediately saw flashes of light underneath the flight deck. And without any discussion, I knew, and we all knew, that that was a fire. I had maybe a second or two of denial. And then I realized that we were not going to be able to fly back to our base. If I wasn't fully alert, I was then, and I had to get on the ground, get the airplane on the ground as fast as possible. What I knew I had to do was very simple, which is fly the airplane at maximum speed, minimum power, descend as fast as possible. And one of the things to avoid it is to land dangerously, because you want to get out of the plane, and you've got to control that thought and that emotion. You don't train for that. But you know, I mean, you do know that the aircraft that you're flying burns the highest octane aviation gasoline, or any gasoline ever made. It's 115 and 145 octane, somewhere in between there. And the airplane skin is made of magnesium, which once it's on fire, it can't be put out. Now, I don't know exactly where the magnesium was burning at the time we were flying our approach and landing, but it did all burn up. There was almost nothing left in an ash pile within about an hour. So I started down to land in find an open space. And I did find a place with some skill, some luck, to land safely. And on the way down, I looked and saw the other pilot had his legs and his feet pulled up off the floor because the flames were coming up and burning him. And his instrument panel fell away into a void space, basically up in the engine compartment. So I just only barely saw that, or was aware of it, and we landed and shut down and dove out because the plane was in full blaze. The gunner and the crew chief did pull out the machine guns and the ammo, and we set up to kind of defend ourselves. And after looking around, and all of us communicated to the extent that we didn't think there was anyone out there, and we were a long way from nowhere, and I figured we'd be there, possibly be there for an extended period of time. It was running through my mind. We knew that we were a beacon because a blazing H-34 could be seen for miles. We kind of knew that we might be there for a long time, which did seem like hours. I think it actually turned out to be about 45 minutes, but the next plane that flew in with troops was then a captain named David Shooter. He is now retired David Shooter, general. And so we got into the choppers and we flew back to base. Pretty much was dark by the time we got back to Keyhaw, which is the helicopter base next to Chulai Jet Base. So the air group commander was there and invited us to come up to his place up on the hill, have some drinks, and we did, and food, and it was a wonderful night. All kinds of hugs and praises, and told me that I would get a Distinguished Flying Cross, and that I was, wonderful, and thank you so much, and everything. Nothing ever happened, though. The following day of this scary sequence, the Viet Cong did arrive on scene in force. And it was a heck of a battle that caused a lot of trouble, and a lot of people were injured. I'm not sure if anyone was killed, but the leader of the effort was a lieutenant colonel. And by all reports, I did not know him, but he was a very good guy, very competent. And he received the Cunningham Award for his efforts that day, that battle, to protect the airplane that I was bringing in support troops to protect.